Hello, Big Jono here. Today we're going to go trading around ArcCorp. First stop is Shady Glen Farms to pick up some distilled spirits. The quickest way to get to Shady Glen Farms is to first go to Sampson & Sons Salvage Centre. So we'll try and get as close as we can to Sampson & Sons before we make our course to Shady Glen's farm. So there we are, that's close enough. Next thing to do is to align ourselves to about 343. So you see it's basically one tick to the right of 345, and we'll scoot over this mountain range. We have a fairly long plain here, so we'll just continue to the next mountain range. Okay, coming up to the second mountain range at the end of the first plain. This is the second plain, and we're about halfway there already. So coming up onto the third mountain range, which is the end of the second plain, and in front of us we'll see a hill that's got a white cap on it. So what we want to do is just go over the right shoulder of that, and Shady Glens will be on the other side. So this is always a good marker to look for. So there we go, Shady Glens farm. At night time when you're coming you can see a red flashing light, but during the day you'll need to have a bit of a look around for it. Okay, first thing to buy is distilled spirits, and as much of it as we can get. Okay, off to sell the distilled spirits. First stop is ArcCorp mining area 048. So there's 4 ArcCorp mining areas on Walla, and we're going to visit 048 first. We'll visit 061 second, and then 045 and 056 we'll visit last because we want to pick up some Laranite from those. So we can only sell 160 SCU at each of these mining areas, so we'll need to sell a bit at each of the ones as we go through. Okay, 61, here we come. With the Herc has 696 SCU, so we'll get about 4 1/3 sales out of that. So each of those sales is 88,000 plus. So we make quite a bit of profit from distilled spirits. Okay, selling our second batch. Just have a look what we can buy here. Yeah, sometimes astatine is okay to get, but we've got better things that we're going to get. So off to 056, which will be the first place where we pick up something other than distilled spirits. What I like to do at night is ping in a mountainous region so I can make sure to avoid hitting a mountain on the way down. So this mountain here is obstructing our view, so I saw that with the first ping.
Landing gear down.
Okay, selling our third load. Another 88k. This time we're going to pick up some Laranite. You can also get astatine here, but we're not going to pick that up, and also diamond as well, but again we're not going to pick that up. But it's always good to know that if you've got some space left over and you've got nothing else of value, you could get astatine or diamond to fill up your hold before you go back to area 18. Okay, the final destination on Walla is mining area 045. I like to find where the storage area is. It's got a unique building style and you can see it from the air, so I try and get myself on the right pad and align to shorten the distance. Okay, apologies for this glare, but I couldn't really get rid of it. So selling our fourth load of distilled spirits, and we'll still have a little bit left over. 62 SCU, I think. No. I think about 30 SCU will be left over. Okay, now we're going to buy Laranite. There's not that much here, unfortunately, but you know, it's better than what was at 056. Yeah, again, there's some diamond here. I think it's a little bit more than what it was at 056. What we're going to do now is we're going to jump across to Lyria, but first we're going to go back to Shady Glen Farms and pick up the rest of the distilled spirits. The Herc has a storage of about 696 SCU, but Shady Glen Farms tends to be able to collect around 1000 SCU, so we're going to go pick up that last remaining 300 or so. I'll speed up this so we don't actually spend too long cruising over to Shady Glen Farms, but it's essentially the same. 343, you know, go through 2 long flats over 3 mountain ranges and you're there. Okay, almost at the end of the second flat, and look at this white tipped mountain, so just up to over the right shoulder, up here. Actually we came a little bit too far to the right, but that's good, we should be able to find it okay. There it is there. I find if I zoom in I can actually see Shady Glen Farms pop into view, because it only appears when you're very close to it. Okay, we'll try and suck it dry for the remaining distilled spirits, and we've got, what, 286 SCU. Okay, so now we're going to pop over to Lyria, and once we are there we're going to look for Sal 2. So Shubin Mining Facilities Sal-2. Incidentally, Sal 2 is also a good place to go prospector mining for Quantanium.
Landing gear down.
Okay, so we're going to sell a load of distilled spirits here. Whatever's left over we're going to take back to Area 18 to sell. Now we've got some space, we're going to find the Agricium and buy as much as we can, which is 10 SCU, which is not much, so obviously somebody has been here before us recently. But not to worry, we have titanium, and titanium is probably the second tier stuff to fill up with if you can't get Laranite or Agricium. So we managed to fill our hold with titanium. Back to Area 18, I like to first quantum travel to OM6 and then down to Area 18. I find if I go to OM6 first I get less stuttering as I go down to Area 18 compared to if I say went to Bikini Point and then down to Area 18. I've had my ship crash due to the game crashing on approaches to Area 18, so I like to be fairly careful. Another thing you could do is you could actually just go to Bikini Point, store your ship and travel down to Area 18, but in 3.17 that will no longer be possible, so you'll be forced. So once I QT down from OM6, I just find on the right hand side is the space station, so I don't have to travel as far to get to the space station either. Okay, just under 6,000 for fuel and repairs, so not a very big cost for all that travelling around. And now we're back at the trading centre and we're going to sell. We got about 800k in our hold, so I wouldn't like to have lose that to a game bug. So the remaining distilled spirits is 100k there. The Agricium, there wasn't so much, so 26k. Laranite 315k, so that wasn't too bad. And the titanium 358k, so that's pretty good. So in all, a bit more than 230k overall profit. I've got a spreadsheet at the end here, so you could probably pause and have a look at all the numbers. But the interesting thing is that the profit from distilled spirits is 34%, where the others are much less.